Welcome to the Soul Session with Samira Seraphini. You landed here for a reason. You're ready to heal your heart, embody authentic confidence, and soften into your feminine energy. It's time to live in true alignment and manifest a blissful life. Let's begin. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the Soul Session. I'm your host, Samira Seraphini, intuitive therapist and creator of the Soul Method, Heal, Align, and Manifest. I'm so glad to have you with me today. Today's episode is a soft one. Not every session has to go deep into trauma or childhood patterns. Sometimes the medicine is simple than that. This episode is about your mornings, about what happens in those first moments after you wake up, before the world gets you, the notifications, the demands, and the day takes over. Because here's what I've come to know after years of this work. Your life is not built in grand moments. It's built in ordinary mornings, day by day, brick by brick. The person you are becoming is a sum of how you live your days. And the morning, those first few minutes, sets the tone for all of it. This episode is called Morning Alignment. Set your energy before the world does. And I want to ask you something to open. If you woke up this morning, how did it start? Did you reach for your phone within the first few minutes? Did you wake up late or already thinking about everything you have to do? Did anxiety arrive before you even got out of bed? Or maybe, and this is the version a lot of people don't talk about, did you wake up feeling okay and then the world slowly got to you? The messages, the news, the to-do list, the energy of everyone around you, until by mid-morning you already lost yourself. If you felt seen by any of that, this episode is for you. Because the solution is not a perfect morning routine, the solution is simple and more powerful than that. It's setting your energy before the world gets a chance to set it for you. Let me ask you a few more things. Do you dream of having a morning routine, but you can't seem to actually follow one? You've tried, you set the alarm, you had this plan, and somehow it never quite sticks? Do you experience highs and lows of energy throughout the day that feel unpredictable, like you have no control over how you feel? Do you sometimes feel like you're reacting to your life more than actually living it? Like you're always one step behind of what's happening? Or maybe you've been going through a big healing process, working on yourself, doing the inner work, and you know the direction you want to go. But the daily practice, the day after day, feels hard to maintain. If any of this is familiar, what I want to say is you need a point to return, a daily moment that brings you back to yourself. And today I'm going to show you what that looks like. I want to be honest with you about why I wanted to create this episode. I'm someone who is deeply sensitive, emotionally, energetically. I absorb a lot from the people I work with, from what I read, and from the world around me, basically. And for the longest time, I struggled with exactly what this episode is about. I would woke up with good intentions, and by mid-morning, I'd already been pulled into others people's energy. The weight of everything I was holding. And over time, through my own healing work, I've learned to regulate, not through a rigid routine, not through discipline, through a few very simple practices that help me find myself again every morning. And that's what I'm sharing today. Not a prescription, a practice. Something you can adapt to any day, even the hard ones. Even the days when you wake up late and everything is already moving. Because the goal is not perfection, the goal is presence. So here's what we are covering today. First, why the morning matters so much and what's really behind the phone scrolling and the low energy that so many experience. Then, the three simple practices for morning alignment. And we will close with a meditation, one you can actually use tomorrow morning. You could even play this episode as your alarm. And I'll invite you into a practice that, in my experience, it's one of the most quietly powerful things you can do for your life. This is a gentle episode, so let yourself receive it. Before the three practice, I want to talk about what's actually happening because I don't want to give you another morning routine checklist. I want you to understand why this matters. Here's the truth about low energy, procrastination, and phone scrolling. These are not the problem, they're symptoms. When someone wakes up and the first thing they do is reach for their phone, when they spend an hour scrolling before they've spoken a single word, the question I always ask is, what are they escaping? Every generation has its form of escape. Before phones, it was television. Before that, something else. Because the human tendency to avoid presence, to avoid the feeling of being alive in the body, in a life, it's not new. Phones are just the current vehicle. And what are people escaping? Often, without even knowing it, they are escaping the weight of unprocessed emotions, the low hum of anxiety that lives in the body, the heaviness of patterns that haven't been worked through yet, the sense that something is stuck, even if they cannot name it. When you are in survival mode, when your nervous system is carrying so much, you don't have the vitality to step into your day. So you numb, you screw, you delay, and you procrastinate. But you see, the screwing itself isn't the villain. The question underneath is, if you're not looking at your own life, if you're not looking at your own life, whose life are you looking at? Your attention is energy. Where you put it, that's where life goes. So the morning alignment I'm talking about today, it's not about adding more to your life. It's about bringing your attention back to your life, back to you, to your body, and to this moment. It is actually one of my mottos. Here and now is where life happens. Because when your energy is pointed outward toward everyone else's life, the world is setting your frequency. And the invitation in today's episode is simple: set it yourself first before anyone else does. The first practice is connect. Connect with your body. Because before you think, you feel. Before you plan, you land. Before you access the world, you access yourself. And I want to say something important here. This does not require an hour. It does not require a specific practice. And it doesn't require you to have it all together. The secret of morning alignment: every day is different, and the practice adapts to every day. Some mornings you have an hour. You train, or you do a full somatic practice, or you sit in stillness with your coffee and really feel it. Those mornings are a gift, so you use them fully. But there will also be other mornings where your kid needs you, the meeting starts early, the day is already moving before you've opened your eyes. On those mornings, you breathe. One deep breath. That's it. And I truly mean this. One conscious breath taken with presence is an act of alignment. It brings your nervous system a signal: I am here. It brings your attention back to your body, and it anchors you in this moment. On the days in between, maybe you stretch, you go outside and feel the air, or you sit on the edge of your bed and take 5 breaths, or you can put your hand on your heart and just notice what's there. What I want you to understand is what matters is not the duration, is the contact. The moment you connect with your own body, with this moment, with yourself before the world arrives. Because your body is not just a vehicle that carries you through the day. It's your most reliable compass. It holds information your mind often misses. And when you start the day from your body, rather than your thoughts, your phone, or your to-do list, you start from a completely different place. Because consistency is not doing the same thing every day. It's meeting yourself every day. The second practice is reframe. And I want to be careful about what I mean here, because this is not about thinking positive. My teacher, Brigitte Champetier de Hibbs, one of the people whose work has shaped mine deeply, she said something that I've never forgotten. Most people don't live in reality. They live in their interpretation of it. Some people expect the worst. They wake up already braced for what will go wrong. Every obstacle confirms what they feared, and every discomfort becomes evidence of a difficult life. Other people force the opposite. So, positivity as a performance. Everything is fine, everything is beautiful, everything is aligned. Until it isn't, and then the fall is harder. Neither of this is strength or alignment. Real alignment and resilience is something different. A mind that can look at reality clearly, that doesn't collapse when something is hard and doesn't bypass what's actually happening, that stays functional in the full range of life. If something goes wrong, you deal with it. If something goes right, you receive it fully. This is the mindset I work on with clients. Not optimism, not stoicism, presence. Because what happens when you start the day with a performative positivity? You meditate, you do affirmations, and you visualize everything going right. And then, if something happens at work that doesn't fit the story, your energy starts to collapse. But when you start the day grounded in reality, eyes open, feet on the ground, challenges become something to navigate, not something to fear. And then you can see opportunities more clearly because you're actually looking. So, as my teacher says, life doesn't ask you to think positively, it asks you to be present. So, the morning reframe is not an affirmation, it's a question. What is actually real today? Not what you fear or what you're hoping for. What is here? What is real? What you're actually working with. From that ground, clear, honest, present, you can meet the day as it is. And that steadiness, that's where the real power lives. The third practice is one that when I explain it, sometimes it stops people. Choose. And I don't mean a goal or a to-do list. I mean something more fundamental than that. In family constellation, we speak of two movements, two currents that run through every life, every day, and every decision. The movement toward life and the movement away from it. The movement away from life looks like repetition, stagnation, victimhood, holding on to what's already over, choosing the familiar even when the familiar hurts, returning to the thing, to the situation that diminishes you because at least you know how it feels. The movement toward life looks like expansion, creativity, courage, opening to something new, choosing the path that asks more of you, even when it's uncertain, uncomfortable, or even lonely at first. I want to give you an example. Let's say a relationship ended. You know it needed to. You know the pattern. You know you will both return to the same place and still you miss them. Still, there are moments where the pull to go back is real. In that moment, returning to what you know is the movement away from life. Not because it's wrong to meet someone, but because you're choosing repetition over expansion. You know the pain, and you prefer to go with it instead of going towards the unknown, towards the growth. And choosing life in that moment might look like nothing dramatic. It might just look like not sending the message, taking one more day, letting the longing exist without acting on it. Choosing life is not always a big decision. Most of the time, it's very small. It's choosing to get up when you want to stay lazy on the bed. It's choosing to speak when you want to shrink. Or simply to try again when the last attempt didn't go as you expected. And maybe it may mean for you to reach out when you want to isolate. So in the morning, before the day has asked anything of you yet, you can set this intention. You can say it out loud or in the quiet of your own heart. Yes, I choose life. It sounds simple, and it is simple, but it changes everything. Because the direction you set at the beginning of the day is the direction you move in all day. Not always consciously, but consistently. And over time, morning after moment, this small, quiet choice shapes the person you become. Choosing life is not a feeling, it is a decision. And I want to pause here because I know some of you listening are going through something right now that may makes the morning feel really heavy. Not I can't stick to my routine heavy, but something deeper. Where getting out of bed takes everything you have. Where the thought of setting intentions feels like a joke because you're just trying to survive the day. If that's you, I see you. And this episode is still for you because even one breath taken with presence matters. Even the smallest movements towards life count. And if you feel like there's a root to that happiness, something underneath the fatigue you haven't been able to touch, that's the work that I do in the soul session. We go to what's actually draining your vitality, the pattern, the wound, the stuck energy that's making it hard to feel alive in your own life. And when that's cleared, the morning changes. Not because you have more discipline, but because you have more energy. You can check the link in the show notes if you feel the call. I'm here for you. For our practice today, a morning meditation, you can do this now, or, and I love this idea, you can save this part of the episode and play it tomorrow morning, right after you wake up. Either way, let's begin. Find a comfortable position, sitting or lying down, whenever you are. If you're in bed, that's perfect. And start with a stretch, whatever your body needs for you to feel connected. So you can let it move however it wants to move. And then settle. Feel where your body is making contact with the surface beneath you. The weight of your body, the temperature of the air, and even the sounds around you. Now take a slow breath in and release completely. One more and let it all go. Now scan your body, not to fix anything, just to notice. Where is there tension? Where is there ease? Where does your body feel awake? Where does it feel heavy? Where is there tension? Where is there ease? Where does your body feel awake? Where does it feel still heavy? Just notice without judgment. This is your body speaking to you. Now bring your awareness to the day ahead. Not to plan it, but to connect with it. And ask yourself quietly without pressure, what is actually real and here today? What do I have? What do I need? What am I working with? Let whatever comes come. And now, the most important moment of this practice. If you can, find a window or imagine light coming into the room. Take one more breath, and as you release, say it out loud if you can, or quietly inside. Yes, I choose life. One more time. Yes, I choose life. Breathe in and release. And once again, you can say, yes, I choose life. Feel what that opens. Feel what shifts, even slightly, in your chest. And that's our practice for your morning. And you can take that feeling, that openness with you into your day, into your daily practice. Take a gentle breath, and when you're ready, you can come back. If you want more practices like this one, somatic, grounding, and integrative, the Becoming You Activation Workbook is for you. These are 5 days of practice designed to help you show up more fully in your daily life. You can download it for free in the show notes. So let's bring this home gently. The problem, it's not the morning routine. It's not the phone or the lack of discipline. The problem is most of us are trying to change our lives without changing how we begin and we live our days. And underneath the scrolling, the low energy, and procrastination, there is often something unprocessed, Something the nervous system is carrying that quietly depletes the vitality you need to step into your own life. The solution, the three micro movements: connect, reframe, and choose. So, for connect, before you think, you feel. Before you access the world, access your body, whatever that looks like today. One stretch, 5 breaths, 10 minutes of movement, or a full hour of workout. It doesn't matter how long, it matters that you make this contact. For reframe, not positive thinking, not negative anticipation. Reality. Ask, what is actually here today? What am I actually working with? And from that ground, meet the day as it is. Because presence is more powerful than any affirmation. And then for choose, make the quiet yet powerful decision before the day makes it for you. Yes, I choose life. I choose expansion over repetition. I choose to move slightly and constantly in the direction of more. So before you are reacting to your day, being shaped by whoever and whatever got to you first, waking up already feeling behind. But now, after our session, you set the tone and the frequency. Not dramatically or in a rigid way, but quietly from the inside. Day by day and morning by morning. And here's the turning point. You don't need a perfect morning. You need a point of return, a daily moment where you come back to yourself. And that's what alignment is about. Not a system or a schedule, but building a strong and deep relationship with yourself, renewed and nurtured every morning. One last thing before I go. If you feel like the low energy, the procrastination, the dumb scrolling is stealing your days and your mornings, and it is blocking your vitality, the soul session is for that. We find the root of what's draining your energy and we clear what's keeping you in survival mode. So if you're ready, we can restore the aliveness that makes mornings feel possible. Not through discipline, but through healing. The application is in the show notes. Check the Becoming You workbook. It is free in the show notes. Sign up for my weekly newsletter where I share more of my own practices and processes. It's an intimate space and you can reply directly to me. If this episode helped you, share it with anyone who may benefit from it. And a review on the podcast helps more women find their way here. All links are in the description. Before I go, I want to leave you with something simple. You don't have to have it all together this morning or to wake up feeling motivated, energized, and clear. All you need is one deep breath, feel your body, and choose once again to be here to connect and anchor in the present. That's enough. Your softness is your superpower. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope this finds you on a morning when you need it the most. Sending you so much love. I'll see you in the next session. If you made it to the end of this episode, it means you're truly committed to healing your heart and living in true alignment. I see you, and I'm so proud of you. Make sure to subscribe to the Soul Session so you never miss our weekly time together. And if you enjoy what you heard, please leave a review and share your biggest takeaway. I'll love to hear from you. For exclusive content straight to your inbox, subscribe to my weekly newsletter. And if you're ready to quantum leap into your next level, book a one-on-one session with me. You'll find all links in the description. Thank you for being here. Sending you so much love. Until next time.